This is a picture you will never see on CNN. And I've got this picture here because they have never shown it on CNN. The whole world needs to see this. This is a monument in Lugansk to all the children who have died from the shelling that has taken place with US-made weapons. These are stuffed animals down here, and these are the faces of all the children who've been killed. All of these people have been dying over the past 8 years. These are children. They've got parents, they've got brothers and sisters, they've got mothers, they've got fathers, they've got their names here on the memorial below. All of these people were killed by the U.S.-aligned regime in Kiev. They were killed. These are all children under the age of 18, most of them under the age of 12, who died as a result of what this government has been doing. And Russia has sat back and said, implement the Minsk agreements, just implement the Minsk agreements. They waited for 8 years. When Biden called this an unprovoked action last night, that was ridiculous. It has been provoked and provoked and provoked and provoked. It was provoked when the USA toppled the Ukrainian government and installed a fanatical anti-Russian government in Kiev. It was provoked when they shelled the eastern regions and attacked these people. It was provoked when the USA talked about having the Ukrainian government that is so hostile to Russia join NATO. It was provoked when the government in Kiev announced that they were thinking about getting nuclear weapons. This is a response to 7 years of failed attempts to reintegrate the Russian-speaking people back into Ukrainian society. I mean, let's just talk about facts here. I mean, imagine that there was some Republican or conservative right-wing governor in Texas or New Mexico, and he decided that he was going to start giving Latinos and Chicano people tickets for speaking Spanish. He was going to drag them into court, make them pay fines for speaking their own language. We wouldn't stand for that here in the United States. We'd say that's racism, that's unacceptable. We're not going to tolerate that. That's what the Ukrainian government has been doing for the past 8 years, writing Russian speakers tickets, dragging Russian people who've spoken Russian their whole lives for generations, dragging them to court for speaking their own language. They have outlawed TV networks that are critical of the Ukrainian government. They put people in jail for their social media posts that are critical of the Ukrainian government. They portray Ukraine as a democracy. It is not a democracy in any sense. The people voted for Zelensky because they wanted peace, and Zelensky didn't have the power to do it. These far right-wing extreme forces that dominate the country basically told the president they don't want to hear it, and the president was unable to actually carry out his rule. That's not democracy. And let me add, they also say Ukraine is independent, and this is a threat on Ukraine's independence. Ukraine is not independent. Ukraine is a colony of U.S. imperialism. Zelensky doesn't move without asking the permission of U.S.-backed military advisors, European Union NGOs, and strategists. Zelensky clearly doesn't run the country. He got elected promising peace, and he hasn't been able to carry it out. And there are all kinds of European Union, British, and American officials in Ukraine telling him exactly what to do. If they told him to lick the floor on national TV, he would probably do it. That's how controlled Zelensky is. So saying that this is an attack on Ukraine's independence, there's no independence in Ukraine. Ukraine's independence ended in 2014 when the United States overthrew their government.